Hello and welcome to another episode of Mad Mondays with Patrick and Celeste.
Where our Mondays are so mad we have to broadcast on Thursdays. Except for today, it's Friday.
An extra big day on Monday. No, not really. So, Celeste, you're going to start us off with some tennis news and get right into it?
Yes. So there's only one tennis tournament happening at the moment. It's in Madrid and it's for both men and women. In the men's side of the draw, Songer plays Wawrinka, Andy Murray plays Thomas Berdych, Nishikori, who knocked out Federer. Oh, sorry, he's playing Thomas Berdych. Nishikori knocked out Federer, plays Andujar, and David Ferrer plays Nadal in the quarterfinals.
So we've lost a couple of the big names. We've lost Djokovic and Federer, so a couple of big names out already. Yeah,
Djokovic lost in the second round, which to Dimitrov, and then he lost in the third round. But still, Federer out's quite a big deal.
Yeah, well, that's it.
And should be a good game between Ferrer and Nadal, two Spaniards in Spain. So
on clay?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. And in the women's side of the draw, Kerber plays Ivanovic, Irani plays Makarova, Sharapova plays Canopy, and Serena Williams plays Medina Garrigues. So possibly, I'm not quite sure what side of the draw, but perhaps Williams and Ivanovic, possibly.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see next week.
That's it.
It's only a few days in, so not too far away.
Be interesting to see how the men's draw plays out as well, with both the 1 and 2 ranked players both out.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Andy Murray's in good form.
Mm-hmm. Rafa's not playing too badly.
Yeah,
and
so perhaps
in Spain,
Murray and Nadal final, if that works out.
That's it.
Soccer news.
Yes, there's some big news coming out of England this week with Sir Alex Ferguson, the manager of Manchester United, retiring after 27 years at the helm of Manchester United. So, long stint there. Yeah, so as I said, he's been there for 27 years, and in that time he's won 38 titles. So he's done all right for himself. So he's won 13 Premier League titles with Manchester United. He's won 1 UEFA Cup title, 5 FA Cup titles, 2 UEFA Champions Leagues, 1 FIFA Club World Cup as well. So he's done all right for himself. Yeah, so he's been 27 years and 38 titles. I'm pretty sure he'd be pretty happy to retire on that. So
1.5.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And what do you got for us next?
Netball. So the Adelaide Thunderbirds are sitting top of the ladder with only losing 1 game so far this season. So
that's
going well. It's round 8 this weekend, and the Thunderbirds take on West Coast Fever over in Perth. And the Fever are on the 6th on the ladder with 3 wins and 4 losses. So Thunderbirds should get up.
You hope so. They had a good win against the Magic on Monday night down here, I believe it was. So always a tough game when you're playing against the likes of Irene van Dijk.
Yes, she's one of the netball superstars.
Exactly right.
We've got from netball to basketball.
Yep. So at the moment over in America we've got the NBA playoffs happening. So we've got a couple of Aussies playing over there. So we've got Paddy Mills, who's a Adelaide Crows ambassador, playing for San Antonio Spurs against another Aussie, Andrew Bogut, for the Golden State Warriors. So they're locked at 1 apiece in their playoffs in the best of 7 series there. We've also got the Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls playing off against each other. So we've got LeBron James playing for the Miami Heat, so one of the bigger name players over there in the NBA. So his team, they're locked 1-1 as well, the Heat and Bulls. We've also got the Oklahoma Thunder and the Memphis Grizzlies locked at 1 apiece, and the New York Knicks and the Indianapolis Pacers locked at 1 each as well. So it's very tight playoff series at the moment. So we've already knocked out a couple of teams, and we're getting close to the finals. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye out on that. So good luck to the 2 Aussies. Unfortunately, they're playing each other, so I guess it means
someone's gonna lose.
But that's it. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
Ice hockey. So after 3 weeks off, Adelaide and Germany head back onto the ice against top team Melbourne Ice over in Melbourne. They played 2 games. One tomorrow and one Sunday. So one Saturday, one Sunday. Adelaide are sitting 5th on the ladder, but have only played 2 games, where other teams have played 5, so it's the least out of all of the teams. And exciting news, our first, we've started a YouTube channel with Adelaide Adrenaline, and it's called Between the Posts, so you can look it up. Between the Posts, 7th of May 2013, where we interview players and possibly the coach to bring some inside information each week. We go to trainings on Tuesday nights, so that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. We had Darren out with us, one of the players, on Tuesday night,
yep.
So good to have Darren out with us.
So. Each week we'll hopefully have a different player, and we've got made up our own little funny segment, I suppose you could call it, called In the Sin Bin, where we have a few sort of different out there questions that we put to the players just for a bit of fun, so hopefully it's a laugh.
To get the lighter side of ice hockey.
Yeah, so it seemed to go well with Dan the first time, so we'll keep it going.
Exactly right, so stay tuned, as well as listening to us on Oz Sports Online and Spreaker. You can also tune into Between the Posts on Wednesdays, probably.
Yeah, Wednesday afternoons, Thursday mornings. Pretty sure the link is on the Oz Sports website also, so
correct.
Get on the website, you'll find out everything about us and Between the Posts.
Very, very true. And
we haven't talked about SANFL for a while.
No, we haven't. No, the big weekend coming up this weekend for the SANFL.
Yeah. So West Adelaide are first on the ladder at the moment, only losing 1 game so far. With Norwood, Woodville, West Torrens, North Adelaide and Glenelg rounding out the top 5. There are no official games this weekend. The South Australian state team takes on a team from the North East Australian Football League. So the NEAFL is a new state league with teams from Queensland, New South Wales, ACT and Northern Territory. The SA team includes from Centrals, Paul Thomas, James Boyd, Braden O'Hara. From North Adelaide, Matt Campbell, Lee Risswick and George Thring. From Norwood, Matt Suckling and Alex Giorgio. From Port Adelaide, James Meiklejohn and Sam Gray. From South Adelaide, Michael Woodkey, Nick Liddell, Joel Cross. And from West Adelaide, Chris Schmidt, John Beach, Ryan Ferguson, Daniel Kerr and Joel Tippett. And from Woodville West Torrens, Andrew Angel, Matthew Goldsworthy, Luke Jarrett and Craig Parry. The emergencies are Michael Code from Sturt and Corey Baird from Port Adelaide. So Glenelg, the only team without any players.
Bit disappointed the Bays didn't get any players in there, but oh well. They did get a couple in the under-20 team, so that's alright. So obviously they've got a few good young blokes coming up. So
good luck to South Australia. So that's tomorrow afternoon at Sydney Master Stadium.
Be a tough game. I was looking at the NEAFL side this morning, and they look like they've got a few past AFL players. Andrew McQualter, used to play for the Saints, is playing for the NEAFL. There's a few other blokes in there as well. There's a few blokes on Brisbane's list, on their rookie list, that are playing in that team as well. So, but I think there's a few Port rookies as well that are playing for the SANFL team. So, should be a good game. So, if you're around the place tomorrow afternoon, Richmond Oval.
Yes.
So get down and have a look at that.
There will be some former South Aussies in the team, also in the NEAFL.
Correct.
And Chris Schmidt is from Brisbane, I believe, so he's playing for South Australian team, so hopefully he may have some inside, I don't know, tactics.
That's it. Fingers crossed.
So round 6 in the AFL was just gone on the weekend. Collingwood defeated St Kilda by 26 points. Essendon defeated GW West by 39 points. North Melbourne defeated Port Adelaide by 10 points, which was quite a nail-biting game.
Yeah.
Bit disappointing for Port Adelaide, but
too slow a start though. Down by 41 points at quarter time.
They couldn't pull off two major comebacks 2 weeks in a row, unfortunately. But
that's it.
Back in Adelaide this weekend, so might get back on the winners list. Hawthorn defeated Adelaide by 11 points. Another close game. Was right down to the wire.
Was.
Some controversial decisions, which you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, so last weekend was supposed to be umpires' appreciation round, but I think it's after last weekend. I think there's probably more controversy come out from umpires than appreciation, unfortunately, for the umpires. One of the cornerstones of this argument is there was a free kick given against Scott Thompson in the last quarter of the Crows Hawthorn game where he,
what do you call it? Yeah, bumped.
Touched. He faintly touched David Hale, who's the ruckman of Hawthorn's shoulder in a marking contest. So it looked like David Hale had been pushed out and Scott Thompson took a mark. At this stage, the Crows were 1 point up, and so they gave away the free kick to Hawthorn. Hawthorn went down the other end and kicked a goal, and then kicked another goal, and that was pretty much game over. So Brendan Sanderson wasn't too happy, and Jeff Geeshan has come out early this week and given Brendan Sanderson an apology for that free kick, as well as a free kick that was given against Scott Thompson the week before in the Carlton game.
Yes.
So interesting to see that they've come out and apologised. So they're obviously admitting they've done something wrong, but it's getting very touchy and it's very fidgety, this rule now. It's getting to the point where it's getting a little bit silly, and some of the AFL coaches aren't happy. Nathan Buckley is a bit disappointed that he didn't get an apology for Ben Reid's free kick again in the Anzac Day clash.
Yes, yep.
And Chris Scott's come out and said that blokes like Tony Lockett and Jason Dunstall would be nowhere near as good as what they were if rules like this had been in place back when they were playing. And he raises a fair point. Football is a contact sport and a sport where it's all about physical strength. As a forward, you want to see marking contests where you've got a forward against a defender pushing against each other. Obviously, you don't want
a full-on nudge push, but a bit of a niggle, a bit of a, not a hip and shoulder, but like a push out with your arm. I don't know what you call that.
Well, that's it. Like, you don't want to see people just kicking balls into the forward 50 and then just taking uncontested marks. Yeah. So you want to see a little bit of a contest because that's part of footy. And talking to a lot of people, there's a lot of people that are starting to turn away from the footy because of the rule changes. It's
frustrating, but then again, it must be a pretty stressful situation being an umpire. You've got a whole game on your shoulders, and you've got to make that split-second decision, and once you've made it, you can't really take it back.
Yeah.
Even though, I don't know if I like the idea of the apology. He made the decision from what he saw then and there, and it must be hard. You can't take it back. You can't. So I do feel a bit for the umpires. They do cop it a lot. So
definitely, and that's a fair call. And I see where you're coming from. Definitely, but
supporters must be annoyed. It's
that's
hard.
it. And Port Adelaide, 38-15 free kick count against Port Adelaide on the weekend.
Wow.
And there's a YouTube clip doing the rounds where Kangaroos midfielder Daniel Wells kicks a goal and the umpire goes up and taps him on the bum.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So that's actually quite funny, but I don't think there was too many happy Port supporters about that or about the umpiring count, free kick count on the weekend. But that's the game, and as you say, they've got to make a decision in that split second and spur of the moment. So it's just what they see, and I think the apologies are probably just more to keep everyone happy and just to say we do make mistakes. So
only humans make mistakes, and
exactly right.
I think, and I suppose a lot of people would say they are willing, but until you go through the training and the hard work to become an umpire, just pipe down.
Exactly right.
Are you going to get out there and do it? No. So, anyway, so after round 6, so we haven't talked about the ladder before, so I'll just read out the top 8. Essendon top spot, Geelong, so it's a top of the table clash this weekend.
Very, very true.
Port Adelaide sitting in third, followed by Sydney, Hawthorn, Fremantle, Collingwood and Carlton. So Carlton have swapped around their bad start and come 8th.
A couple of big games this weekend. We've got that, obviously, we just said Geelong and Essendon are playing off against each other tonight, so they're the only two teams that are currently undefeated up into this round. So
hope I'm home from work in time.
Yeah, and we've also got Fremantle playing Collingwood, so they're back to back on the ladder, and a grand final rematch with Hawthorn and Sydney this round as well. So it's going to be an interesting round. So
got some good news. Some good news for the Crows. Well, not necessarily the Crows, but Taylor Walker will be shaving his mullet off, or Sam Newman will be playing hairdresser on the footy show sometime soon. So his target that he wanted to reach was $50,000, and the current money raised for the Leukemia Foundation stands at $56,629. So, yes.
Right on, that's
good work, everyone.
That's amazing. That's good.
With only 1,050 people sponsoring, so that's quite a lot of money for only that amount of people. So once he's recovered from his surgery, he'll be off to Melbourne for the footy show for getting rid of it. So beautiful. That would be good.
Definitely be tuning in for that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on some more good news from this week, we've got a couple of players that have re-signed new contracts.
Yes.
Carlton will be happy to hear that Chris Judd has re-signed for another year, and Kangaroos forward Drew Petrie has also signed for 2 years. So I know he was on a few of the other AFL clubs' radars because he was an unrestricted free agent this year, but he's signed away for another 2 years. So good on him. And we've also got young Brad Hill was the NAB Rising Star for this round from Hawthorn. So he played a good game on the weekend from what I saw. So good on him.
So we'll go through the rest of the games that we didn't talk about just before. So quick tip: Geelong Essendon.
Geelong Essendon. Geelong, I think. Essendon struggled a little bit last week against GWS early doors, but did have a few big names out resting. So, but I still think Geelong.
I'll have to disagree with you. I reckon Essendon. Port and Richmond tomorrow afternoon. Early game, 1:15. It's really odd time at Amy.
Better than Twilight game.
Port Adelaide, I think.
I think Port Adelaide, one, because it's a home, two, because Richmond will be out Trent Cotchin. So their skipper, that's a big loss. He's their number one midfielder and one of the premier midfielders of the competition. So I think that'll make a big difference.
We've got Brisbane and West Coast at the Gabba Saturday afternoon. Tough one. West Coast had such a big win.
Yeah, you would have thought West Coast, but Brisbane beat West Coast up at the Gabba last year.
Yeah, and
West Coast were flying.
It's hard to beat them up there, so perhaps we'll go Brisbane.
I think I'm going to go West Coast still. I reckon they'll hold them off.
Western Bulldogs versus North Melbourne at Etihad, Twilight game.
Kangaroos, easy.
Yep, definitely. Hawthorn and Sydney at the MCG, night game, Hawthorn.
Yeah, I think I've got to go Hawthorn. I saw both teams play last week and both looked really good. Hawthorn looked really good against the Crows and Sydney looked really good against Brisbane. So it's going to be a good game. Be very tight, but I think Hawthorn just. They'll need Buddy to fire though. Buddy's gone goalless last 2 weeks. So did have a very good opponent last weekend in Daniel Talia. He's good to see him back in some form.
Yes, and from what I heard, Buddy tried to rustle him up early on, get in his head, mess with his mind, but he did well to overcome that and just.
Yeah, I think he got a bit frustrated towards the end of the game, Buddy. He smacked Talia in the head and then smacked Bernie Vince in the head as well. So
that's a really good way to. You're not having a good game, just start punching people.
Yeah, well, that's it.
No, good. No. Fremantle versus Collingwood over in the West. Ooh, Fremantle.
I think Collingwood. Fremantle got no Pav, no Sandlands. You're just
disagreeing with me on purpose.
No, I'm not. I'm serious. I was going to pick Collingwood before you said that.
GWS and the Crows. See, I don't know.
Don't tell me you jumped off the Crows bandwagon.
I am being unbiased and objective with my tips, and it'll be close, I reckon. Okay. Because even though the Crows have kept up with Hawthorn, just over there, GWS, they are getting better.
Nathan Van Burlo comes back this week for the Crows as well.
We'll see.
But no, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Melbourne versus Gold Coast at the MCG. Gold Coast.
Yeah, I think Gold Coast. Melbourne are going to be without both of their co-captains or main co-captains this week. No, Jackson Trengrove's out for the next 3 weeks with a calf injury, and Jack Grimes did a collarbone last weekend, I believe, so he's going to be out for about 8 weeks as well. So Standing skipper Nathan Jones.
Bad run continues, poor Melbourne.
But they do get their big off-season recruit Chris Dawes back this week, so that'll be
That's
good to see him for his first game in a Melbourne Guernsey, so good luck to him.
Yeah, I did hear him talk about going over to Melbourne on the radio the other week, and he's quite excited and feeling good about it, so hopefully he can bring the team up.
Yeah.
And the last game, which is on a night game on Monday night at Etihad.
Interesting time slot.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how that goes. I don't mind. It's something different. Better
I'd
than
probably
the Sunday
go.
Twilight slot.
If I was around, I'd probably go.
Oh yeah, why not?
And it's St Kilda and Carlton, so that'll be, I think, Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton. Quite comfortably, I think. With St Kilda have lost Cozzy as well, which could almost mean the end of his career, really. He's been suspended for 2 weeks, I believe. Or 3 weeks? 2 weeks, I think it is. So that he was struggling to get into the team as it was, and I think if his contract expires at the end of this year, I think this could be almost the last time we see Cozzy in the red, white and black.
Yeah.
But, fingers crossed for him that that's not the case, but he's had a bit of a tough run. The old Cozzy.
That's about all we've got time for, I reckon.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in to another episode of Mad Mondays with Patrick and Celeste. Celeste, where can you listen to us?
You can listen to us on Spreaker.com. Go to googlespeaker.com, you type in Mad Mondays and you'll find us. Or go through the Oz Sports Online website, there's a link there. You can listen live on Spreaker, or you can listen to the podcast. You can also like us on Facebook, which we really want to start happening, so we can get feedback and what you want us to talk about, what you think we're doing wrong, what you like about us.
If there's any questions you have you'd like answered.
Especially now that we're doing between the posts with Adelaide Adrenaline, anything you want us to ask, if you're ice hockey fans out there.
That's it.
You can also follow us on Twitter, MadMondays13, or Oz Sports Online also has a Twitter. You can follow that page as well. And keep an eye out for us on YouTube between the posts each Tuesday. We interview on Tuesdays, and it'll be put up Wednesday afternoon. So
keep an eye out for that on YouTube, and probably put it up on our Facebook page as well, so you can get everyone to have a look at that. But yeah,
tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think, guys, and we're always open to have some questions, and would love to have some feedback and some comments as well. So Facebook, Twitter, or
anything.
Sports,
Talk
anything.
To us.
Just, give us a call even.
Alright.
Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Mad Mondays with Patrick and Celeste, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Thank you.